Hey everyone, my name is Melissa Rochelle and I'm a holistic wellness and relationship coach. So let's discuss the number one reason many women think relationships aren't worth it. Did you know that women who bring in more income than their husbands also tend to do the majority of the housework? So let's take a look at an avatar of a stereotypical married woman or woman in a long-term relationship in 2023. Let's call her Natalie. Natalie works full-time outside the home. She has an income that is more than or equal to her partner. She gets home after work, cooks dinner, and catches up on chores. She's tired after a long day at work, but her partner wants to have sex. She obliges, and the sex is horrible, so she just ends up more tired than she was before. She tries to have a conversation with her partner about how she's been feeling lately, and he dismisses her pain and says he just wants peace. Natalie's story might sound like an exaggeration, but unfortunately it isn't. Many men have a desire to lead their relationships. Many men are also aware that divorce is harder on men than on women. But what are most men doing to actively improve their relationships and increase their wives' or partner satisfaction with their relationships? So let's discuss an essential aspect every man worthy of admiration brings to his relationship. The essential aspect that every man worthy of his partner's admiration brings to his relationship is sharing the emotional labor load with his partner. Emotional labor in a relationship refers to the mental and emotional effort we put into managing our own feelings as well as our partner's feelings. Emotional labor plays a vital role in creating a healthy and satisfying relationship. So let's explore the importance of sharing emotional labor in a relationship and how it impacts how connected to us our partner feels. First, let's understand the different aspects of emotional labor. In a relationship, emotional labor involves tasks like listening and supporting our partners during difficult times, showing empathy and understanding, remembering important dates, and being aware of our partner's emotional needs. When both partners contribute to emotional labor, it creates a strong bond and increases emotional intimacy. Sharing emotional labor in a relationship is essential for several reasons. First, it cultivates a sense of partnership and equality. When both individuals participate in managing each other's emotional well-being, it shows mutual respect and commitment. Each partner feels valued, knowing that their emotions are considered important by the other. Secondly, it reduces emotional exhaustion. Emotional labor can be draining when only one partner carries the burden. By sharing this responsibility, the load is lightened, and both partners can better manage life's challenges, leading to a healthier and more satisfying relationship. Lastly, distributing emotional labor raises emotional intelligence. As partners engage in open communication about feelings, they become more attuned to each other's needs. This, in turn, improves their emotional intelligence, allowing them to navigate conflicts with greater understanding and empathy. Now let's discuss 3 significant consequences that arise when emotional labor is not equally shared within a relationship. Number 1, emotional burnout. When one partner carries most of the emotional labor, they may experience burnout. Constantly being the sole emotional support system can lead to emotional exhaustion, causing them to feel overwhelmed, tired, and drained. This burnout can create emotional distance and resentment between the partners. Number 2, communication breakdown. Unequal distribution of emotional labor can lead to communication breakdowns. The partner who feels unsupported may withdraw emotionally or become hesitant to share their feelings, fearing they won't be heard or understood by their partner. This lack of open communication destroys trust and creates walls between the two partners, and this is dangerous for a relationship. Number 3, imbalance in relationship satisfaction. When one partner is burdened with most of the emotional labor, they may feel unappreciated or undervalued. This imbalance in relationship satisfaction can lead to a decline in emotional intimacy, physical intimacy, and sex. Now that we understand the importance of sharing emotional labor, let's discuss 5 practical tips to achieve a balanced, healthy, and satisfying relationship. Number 1, open communication. Encourage open and honest communication about emotions in your relationship. Create a safe space where both partners can express their feelings without judgment or criticism. Number 2, empathy and active listening. Practice active listening to understand each other's feelings better. Show empathy and validate each other's feelings, even when you may not fully understand the situation. And number 3, establish boundaries. Discuss and set boundaries for emotional labor. Find a balance that works for both partners, ensuring that neither partner feels overwhelmed. Number 4, share responsibilities. Divide emotional labor tasks equally. Remembering important dates, planning date nights, and offering support during tough times are responsibilities that can be shared. And number 5, practice self-care. Encourage each other to practice self-care. Taking care of your own emotional well-being enables you to be more present and more supportive for your partner. Sharing emotional labor is a critical aspect of a healthy and satisfying relationship. It strengthens the emotional bond between partners, reduces emotional exhaustion, and improves emotional intelligence. On the other hand, neglecting to distribute emotional labor equally can lead to emotional burnout, communication breakdowns, and an imbalance in relationship satisfaction. Remember, a successful relationship is built on a mutual support and understanding. So, aim to share emotional labor in your relationship to create a deeper and more intense connection with your partner. So, if you're curious to see how well you carry your half of the emotional labor in your relationship, keep watching. We're going to go through 10 questions that will help you to see if your partner's emotional life is safe in your arms, or if you have the unhealthy habit of putting all or most of the emotional labor on your partner. Emotional labor is an important aspect of any relationship, and it's critical for both partners to contribute equally as possible. These 10 questions will help you assess how much emotional labor you tend to carry in your relationships. If you want to improve your relationship, be completely honest with your answers. Question number 1. How often do you check in with your partner to understand how they are feeling and what they might be going through emotionally? Rarely or never, occasionally, often, or regularly. Number 2. When your partner shares their problems or concerns with you, how do you typically respond? Do you listen but don't offer much feedback? Do you provide quick fix solutions to her problems? Do you empathize and validate her feelings? Or do you actively engage in discussing possible solutions and provide emotional support? Number 3, how frequently do you initiate conversations about your partner's emotional needs and well-being? Almost never, occasionally when it seems necessary, fairly often, or regularly you make an effort to understand her emotional needs. Number 4, during arguments or conflicts, how willing are you to apologize and take responsibility for your actions? Do you rarely apologize? Do you apologize if you believe you did something wrong? Do you apologize only when it's obvious you're at fault? Or do you apologize and take responsibility for your actions even if it's hard? Number 5, do you actively try to remember important dates and events that are significant to your partner, like anniversaries, birthdays, and achievements? No, you often forget important dates. You try to remember, but sometimes you forget. Yes, you make an effort to remember, and yes, and you plan something special for those occasions. Number 6, how much time and effort do you invest in understanding your partner's hobbies, interests, and passions? Do you spend very little to no time at all? Do you try to show some interest but don't get deeply involved? Do you invest time to understand her interests? Or do you actively participate and engage in her hobbies and passions? Number 7, in times of stress or difficult situations, how do you support your partner emotionally? You're not sure how to offer support to her, or you try to be there for her but it's challenging. You provide emotional support and a listening ear, or do you actively work to alleviate her stress and provide emotional comfort? Number 8, how often do you initiate random acts of kindness or surprises to make your partner feel appreciated? Rarely or never, occasionally but not consistently, fairly often, or regularly you make an effort to show your appreciation. Number 9, how much do you contribute to the emotional well-being and harmony in your relationship? Very little, if at all. You contribute when it's convenient for you. You make an effort to contribute positively, or do you actively work to ensure emotional well-being and harmony? And number 10, overall, how do you feel about the emotional labor you invest in your relationship? Do you feel like you don't need to do much emotional labor? Do you feel like you could do more, but you're not sure how? Do you think that you do a decent amount of emotional labor, or do you believe you contribute significantly to the emotional labor in your relationship? Okay, Now, for every A response, give yourself 1 point. For every B, give yourself 2 points. For every C, give yourself 3 points. And for every D, give yourself 4 points. And then add up all your points and interpret your results. If you have 10 to 20 points, you may need to work on increasing your emotional labor in your relationship. If you have 21 to 30 points, you're making an effort, but there's room for improvement. If you have 31 to 40 points, you're actively involved in emotional labor and your partner likely appreciates it. So keep up the good work. If you lied when answering any of the previous questions, congrats. You just wasted your time. Prove to yourself that you care more about taking care of your own feelings than your partner's, and prove to yourself that you struggle with accountability. If you truly believe that you answered the questions honestly from your perspective, you can take it one step further and ask your partner, or if you're not currently in a relationship, an ex that you know won't lie to you, to answer the questions about how you show up in relationships from their perspective. Thank you for watching. I am grateful for you. My name is Melissa Rochelle, and I'm a holistic wellness and relationship coach. Please remember to like, subscribe, and most importantly of all, share this information with everyone you know, so that we can do everything we can to break the generational cycles of broken homes, burnt out single moms, and fatherless children.